Hello, Lori. How are you?
Hello, Mr. Guzman. I'm hanging in there. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Are you amidst or among the rain?
It rained a little earlier. I'm down here in Pedro.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I am too. Well, I'm in Wilmington, but I'm headed to San Pedro for an errand.
So are you guys, because you're doing the agenda setting meeting a week and a half before the meeting, are you going to finalize it today? Because I've got my outreach meeting tomorrow.
No, we're just going to essentially say that we're going to have the outreach items and we're going to have the finance items, and we did receive some items from planning and land use, so we can formally put those on. I have a draft agenda that I shared with the executive committee members, so if Vic
Okay.
or Melanie wants to share that, they might share that. But no, actually, initially I didn't even want to have this meeting because to me, the meeting this month is a special meeting since it's on a different day. So I figured that for a special meeting, I could just set the agenda. So, but Victor,
Well,
Secretary,
you can't, I mean, really, if the committee has to set the agenda.
well, yeah, I guess it's debatable. I think you just wanted to have it just to cover all our bases,
Okay.
but that's okay. That's not a problem.
What, is there a deadline? I didn't get anything saying committee chairs to be on this agenda. You need to have things in by so-and-so date or supporting documents. Since the meeting's pushed out 3 days.
Yeah, we should probably put out an email. Let me see what it is. I think Vic had an idea. Let me see.
Okay. Because I already know something from outreach, so that's why I popped in. Where is everybody?
I don't know. Let me look. I think Vic, though, I think he suggested stuff by this coming Friday. So,
Okay.
but you're covered. You're covered.
Okay. Well, but all the chairs should know what their deadline is, specifically Gwen.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Well, she wanted to have a meeting. I don't know if she's going to have a meeting, but she wanted to have some sort of a sustainability emergency meeting. So we'll see if that happens.
Let me see if it's on the calendar. Let me see. She wanted to have a meeting this week for sustainability. Next meeting for sustainability, she doesn't have until October 21st.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. We'll see. If not, that's fine. I think that we've got a full agenda anyway, so we'll be all right.
Yeah, that's something I actually wanted to talk to when everybody's here. But here at 6 o'clock, and Chris and Vic aren't here. I know Melanie was wrapping up. She's on the that virtual governance meeting. She was on it right now.
Oh, okay.
So I know she was going to jump off to get onto this one. But where's Vic and Chris?
Chris said he's not going to be able to attend. Vic, I don't know. I could send Vic a text.
Well, Vic's the one that wanted the meeting, you said.
He is. He is the one who wanted the meeting. So I'm here to serve. So we'll see if he's not here in a little bit, then I'll just set the agenda then. I don't have a problem with that.
All right. Well, I'll tell you a couple things of concern to me but let's wait and see if Vic arrives.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I'm very frustrated with how the meetings continue to get away from us, and some of the committee chairs don't get a chance to do the report. I never get to do the homeless liaison report, so there's no point in me even doing it because I doubt people are even reading what I'm submitting. So I'm just wondering what we can do to try and stay on time and set some time limits for some topics. And quite honestly, I've watched how Doug's done it. He sets some time, and if conversation still needs to go on, he opens it up to the board. He'll say, board, we've already used our, let's say, 10 minutes for item number 4. Do you want to move on, or do you want to, allow 5 more minutes kind of thing? So that's one suggestion, or not allowing people to speak more than once on an item, but we just, people don't need to speak on every single item. Hi, Vic, are you there?
Yeah, I really respect that, and I've been really trying to make it more concise and efficient. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think that I think that I've been doing a decent job. I mean, it's hard because it's a democracy and people do want to speak, but I definitely think the time limits could help even more. But I think
Yeah.
that so far I've tried to make things not too long. If there's a
Christian,
meaningful discussion, then the meaningful discussion needs to be
I
had.
understand that, and this wasn't a criticism of you. I used to bug Ray about it too. Okay, so this is not at you, but there's certain board members who feel the need to speak on every single item. And I'd hate to see you have to put a 2-minute limit or say people can't speak twice, because good dialogue is important. But I'm just wondering, if you could look at the agenda, what you have, and say, wait, we need to be at this point by this time, and remind people, because it's crazy. Outreach doesn't usually get to report. Liaisons don't get to report. And I'm just saying, I'm just hope we can find a way that, and of course we should limit the amount of presentations. Quite often, the conversation with our lead officer takes way longer than it needs to. Honestly, if people have a personal issue they want to talk to the lead officer, then do it offline. But if it doesn't really pertain to everybody, I think it's not a good use of our time. But again, that's my personal opinion.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree. That's why I actually asked the police officers to submit their written reports beforehand, so that way the board could at least have the opportunity to read it. And I think that the police officers have really gotten my sort of hint that I want it to go smoothly. But yeah, again, I think something we could propose maybe is we take up items at 6:45 that are action items, and then we could take up reports at 7:30. And then what Doug did tell me was he would go back and be like, okay, so after we cover that,
Right.
we'll go back to the other items. And if you want more
Right.
discussion with the police or whatever, then we could do that.
And I'm certainly not telling you what to do. I'm just expressing my frustration as a liaison and a committee chair, that it's just, goes on and on. Also too, and I don't know how to be, do this diplomatically, but so when our slow does talk, he goes on and on with answers. He goes way beyond what he needs to say.
Oh, yeah.
But another one that's sort of a culprit, and I love her, is Joanna Rodriguez.
Oh,
from
yeah.
from the mayor's office. She, you might want to tell her, Joanna, we need to limit this to 3 minutes or something. And she always sends a follow-up report. So she doesn't need to, go over everything, just hit the highlights.
Oh, yeah.
So again, my opinion. So, I'm going to continue to turn in homeless liaison reports, and I hope that people are reading them. But Chris is going to start doing the reports on outreach, and we are starting to have some outreach activities. And so this next meeting, we're going to need to talk about it. And we'll talk about it at the outreach meeting tomorrow, but the Chamber of Commerce has asked us to participate in the Spirit of San Pedro Holiday Parade. And I think that Weymouth Corners is asking us to participate in Candy Cane Lane. And both of these, we were sponsors in the past. So I don't know what they're going to discuss at outreach, but these are things that need to be discussed with the board. Okay.
Okay. Well, Vic, if you're here, then I would propose that 2 things on the agenda I'd like to put at the action items to be taken up by 6:45, and then for the reports I would like to put to be taken up by 7:30, and then I would also like to put youth and outreach as the first committee. Then that's what I would like to do.
Melanie's in the attendee. Can somebody snap her over?
Yeah, Vic, if you can make Melanie a panelist. I made Vic the host because my internet body. So Vic, if you could do that.
Do you have a presentation for this meeting, Christian?
We might have one. I put a question mark on my draft agenda that I gave to the executive committee by Donald Gleason. From
Is that from the port?
in Joe Buscaino's office.
Okay. What's it about?
It will be about how emergency funds have been used for the pandemic, how they've been used in our community and in Los Angeles, from federal and state emergency funding allocations.
Okay. I'm including that actually in the homeless liaison report too.
Oh, that's great. Melanie, you have your hand up.
Yeah, just to comment on what Lori was talking about, Candy Cane Lane and the parade. I talked to City Clerk Shauna tonight, and those type of events, if we give any money, you have to send a full report of the safety guidelines for COVID that they're practicing and what the setup's going to be, and sanitization and mask wearing and the whole safety protocol for each event that's going to be conducted.
And that's why at the outreach meeting, I'm going to kind of caution them that we might not be ready for this stuff. But it's not my decision. It's the outreach committee will, but I'm going to relate. And you've told me that, Melanie, and I've relayed that their safety protocol for distance, for air circulation and all that kind of stuff.
Right. So they have to, what has to be done is you have to fill out, you have to list everything, and it has to be submitted with the event request sheet that you submit. And so you have to list all the protocols that are being taken and all of that.
Is there a form for that?
You know what? She says they're working on one, and I'm going to insist on it. I'm going to insist on it because she says nobody's really been in events right now.
Vic's got his hand up now.
Yeah, go ahead, Vic. After Melanie's finished speaking, go ahead, Vic.
I wasn't aware I was going to be changing stuff. So what is it that you wanted me to change again, having to do with 6:45 and 7 or whatever the times were? And
oh, well, you do not have to change it. I can make the change. I was just telling you because Melanie hadn't been here yet, but Melanie, I'll tell you too now. So Lori expressed some opinions, and I think that they're valid, and I would like to put on the new agenda that we'll put out for the action items section. I would like to put a note that says will be taken up by 6:45 p.m. and then under the report section, I would like to put will be taken up by 7:30 p.m. and then for the action item section also, I'm going to suggest that we put youth and outreach first because they have some important COVID related discussion that might need to be had.
Right.
And whatever, Christian, whatever outreach decides, I'll be going to the budget and finance meeting. I don't know if they're going to request that we be a sponsor. And Melanie, can we be a sponsor without attending the event, or?
We can donate money to Candy Cane Lane and not attend to the event, and that we could be a sponsor, and we would specify that we aren't attending as part of the safety protocol, that we aren't attending, we're just donating money.
So we could leave it open-ended to say we want to sponsor for this amount. We'll wait and watch and see how COVID goes before we decide if we're actually going to participate.
Right.
But I need the safety form.
If you say you're participating, then you'll still have to do the safety form.
Right, but there's no form yet for us to fill out.
I know.
Okay.
I think right now they're just like, you have to just list everything on your own type of thing. But I'm going to get back to her on tomorrow and email.
Okay, thank you. And personally, I'm hesitant to participate in anything, but it's not my call. It's the committee's recommendation to our board.
The thing is too, one thing that we're going to have to keep in mind, because something that came up tonight in the EVG meeting going forward, they probably won't do hybrid until next fiscal year. They're gonna be doing pilot neighborhood councils probably. A couple of them, one from like each region, but with this AB 361 that passed, there's gonna be a lot of, you're gonna have to be really careful with public comment, and you have to make sure that they're allotted time via phone or via on your meeting for each comment. So they're telling you not to restrict the amount of public comment on each item on your agenda items, because it has to be fully accessible to everybody under the Brown Act for public comment and all of that. And AB 361 is very inclusive in that, as well as if there's any type of interruptions in your broadcast or any problems with your broadcast, or you have to end it immediately and adjourn it and reschedule.
Are you saying that we're staying on Zoom meetings until the next fiscal year?
Maybe, yeah.
Fine with me.
With AB 361, because next fiscal year, equity wise for neighborhood councils, that a lot of them have had their money all allocated. How are they expected to go buy equipment? We're in a better spot than a lot of neighborhood councils, where we'll need probably a hotspot, because I found out tonight that with the park, we can buy a hotspot and use that at the park.
Well, if I can add, I don't know if John Barbera mentioned to you that an alternate location, if we need to do hybrid or whatever, is the Assistance League has a meeting room that has already passed safety protocol. They say they have air circulation and Wi-Fi, and they might be interested in letting us do the meeting there.
Right, and he said though that they have to vote on it. He has to bring it up.
Yeah. Oh, no, I know. I just was saying you have options.
Yeah. So
Melanie and Vic, did you get the draft agenda that I sent to you earlier? And I had some finance items. I think I had the approval of the budget through October, and I had the October MER. Is there anything else that might come out of finance, Madam Treasurer?